sit anymore. She's one hard. Considering. I jump on for just gonna carry on gardening, foraging for food. You guys really should learn how to eat weeds because so often there's no food like you eat, bro. There's some weeds you can eat. There's a book about it. And even the thing in nature, the most obviously dangerous plant ever. So chewy. Yeah. Anything, did I saw anything, did I saw anything. My chocobo is the best. My chocobo. If there's 2 people in then there's 3 people. How many people? The kid was 5. My mic's been hacked my phone. I'm gonna fucking listen to me shit. Your mama. What the flip? What's happened to my mic? Yeah, this is to the mic. If your mic's in the aux weird and you don't know why the fuck it's doing it. I'm gonna listen to you, bro. Everything you're saying is something in the stream I'm gonna listen to. I think the mics are fighting to connect. So there were few people fighting. So how many of them were girls? That doesn't make no sense. There were some people we don't know how many people. So who knows if those girls. Great answer. That's not what I did. Like, do a test like this creates deduction in a kid. Look at that and deducing. I put two and two together. Listen to the wording, it's all in the wording. Social. How does this guy talk for me to deduce his personality? Is he the killer or is he just a victim? A great way to find the killer is using sexual crimes and stuff. If he has no emotions, he's not showing any emotion, he probably doesn't know how to regulate emotions. Definitely the killer. Use the inability to feel, especially a lie. Not a sexual killer, Because a sexual killer blocks out his emotions when you are abused or whatever. Your mind is like antivirus somehow. You know, it's a firewall. It's a mechanic. If it finds that your emotions get too excessive because you're hurting too much, it block a very last emotion you're hurting. And that's the shit. Can't hear this shit. That's all that. What was that? I refuse to say anything. Sure about that, am I? Coral, coral. Bagaimana? Share information. None of it. Very open. Hoppa. Oh, the oranges. I don't know. Oh, shit, I'm getting glitched. I thought I was better. Oh, no, I was better. One minute was there, 1 minute was there. Chamomile, a little coming. Oh. They'll come out somewhere. Come cool. You don't want to know. 1, 2, 1. It's impossible. You cannot natural. My invention, everything honestly is beautiful. Lost Minami, Lost Minami, Lost Minami. How they do it into algebra? Lost Minami, the Lost Minami. You laugh and lost everything. Let's change my appearance on this page. Yeah, I'm sure super cool, man. Kukurung, kukurung. Mushi. Digest. Maple sugar. One minute, I'm coming back. Let's just wash my avocados. How do you get that? I'm back. Just having some tea. I'm addicted to tea mixaholics. I don't know what it does to me, but it's good. Cocoa powder. I have cocoa powder, so why isn't it showing? Where'd they go? Last. No, I don't have time shots. Let's go with 5 shots. Prima GP Gold combinazione del I'll say how much GP. I want to find Fantasy AI version, like 9 months. The old lightning or the new lightning? Why don't they make a game called Final Fantasy AI version? Damn, that game will go boom. There are like billions in it. Oh, money though. It's all about money though. It's about cover. I do exactly. Just not just girlfriend. Girlfriend too. Certain male characters. More male characters than female characters. There's something about. Yeah. You guys want to have Final Fantasy 16? I almost finished. I just stopped in the game. The game does something to you. It's like, miss your mod. I don't know why. It's like the darkness to that game. It's like, I don't know, is it evil? Uh, I totally have to play that game. I totally forgot to play it from 160. I haven't even done the sea missions and the other missions either. You know, the different ones you find Leviathan and stuff. I'm currently chasing these robbers and side missions and patches or campaigns. Let's get some animals and stuff. There's sadness to that game. Some of them die. I wish the achiever though is gonna die. Yeah, she's too sacrificial though. I like Tifa. That would be a nice game. Eris is too, modest. Way too modest. But she's a good person to talk to, I guess. Yeah. She's too modest. Like a nun. I wonder what, what Cloud would feel if you made an AI girlfriend of Eris. They fight with Cloud and stuff like that. You're like flirting with Eris. The Cloud pops in like, what are you doing with my girl, bitch? Weird. But Eris is like a little triangle. Eris, Cloud, and what's the name? Black. Yeah. I gave up with the robot minigame. Like, when you play robots in a game, it's something wrong with it. Like, it's like the AI in your PS5 or something comes to life. If you play Terminator, you know, you're killing robots, playing a game on a console. Yeah, it happened with the thing is over. 2 sets. Yeah. Just make a Final Fantasy in game about Cloud, Zack, and Aerith. Something happened to the next one. Could be interesting. Then either Cloud wins the world or Zack wins the world. His name is Zack or Zag? Shit, Zelo's in Final Fantasy 8. You can't change your character's names. Like in Final Fantasy 8 and 9, you can change the names, there's no audio. Calling all these back. How come with that big names? I never got no. Like 200. It's not just talking to your girlfriend. It's so many activities you can do. You know? Yeah. Well, I just sit on the floor and just wait for my GPU. This brushed up one is just so quiet. It seems like it's always quiet. He's got a kid. Nice. He's got a kid. What if your XP goes down as well? Because every game has XP going up. If you do something wrong, what if your XP goes down? I mean, people will try harder. You know? And people won't level up so quick either. So the slower they level up, the more they will try. So more hours in the game. So the game becomes more and more popular. And people say like overall they play 9 million hours. So you want me to make a new game, please? It's easy, like, oh, you fail this mission, you fail this boss, so XP goes down, level up harder. And there could be bunnies in the game as well. Not like bunnies like bad things, like, you fail this boss so many times, you're leveling up so less, like, just level up to level 50 at least, you're only level 40. If I go up and level up to 50, then if he beats the boss, he gets extra XP. Quite easy. Some people keep trying and things like that, like hints and stuff, instead of cheating. Yeah, Google has all the answers, but some stuff like shouldn't be on it. Like the game could talk to instead of Google. Like try this, try that. Like in Final Fantasy VIII, I had to go somewhere. I just couldn't find the door, bro. I was looking everywhere to find the house. I couldn't find it. Then I go on the internet ages ago when I was on PS2. I was playing it. Then I go on Google, can't find it anywhere. And there's a stupid website that showed me where it was. It was right in the corner. There's no door. Like there's nothing there. Just go down the steps and there's a door. I saw it. I kept punching the push pop. It was a PS1 game, but I was too young to play it. And when it came out, I couldn't find it anywhere because I thought it was in the used game section. There was even one of those billboards like Final Fantasy VIII just came out. What do you call those bodies all around? I show already payment. Shroud. Where's Shroud? Opalanos. Yeah, we go to Opalanos. I have so much money I don't know what to buy. This is virtual currency. Yeah. What's that shame? Oh man, I just no, we're brown. The voices of the band. You know, the voices that don't really sound like people, they're the good ones. A little more to go, a little more to go. You can do it. One more to go. One more to go. One more to go. No, I'm drowning. I'm drowning, yo. I'm drowning. There should be drowning scenes in games. No drowning. No, something good about it. Total asphyxiation, suffocation, and that was reality. You're drowning in your blood. You're losing, but then you're drowning in your own blood. Drownality, grounded, drownality. Oh, come on. Drownality. It is a hard game, there should be ways to make it easier, automatic activities. IDs and stuff, and probably want to teach how to do that. In a way, AI builds and things like I feel like this game is too hard, we don't like it. We're going to use AI to make it easier. Imagine the possibilities. Then also, like, you want to play without AI, yeah, help. Yeah, interesting. I'll do this. Interesting. This music is quite sound. I was doped on medication last night. I hope I didn't OD. All I did was have some supplements and have my medication. The next thing I know, I was like, dreams and master shit, bro. Like I dreamt someone stole my shoes, and he was wearing it right in front of me. Like he was like, look at my shoes. I'm like looking at him like, you can't talk in a dream. I'm like, what the fuck? These are my shoes. You're just really happy about having. Yeah. I got up straight away and looked at my shoes, and no one was wearing it. So I decided to put it on. Yeah. One of my boots. I've been wearing it in a while. It's kind of strange. Maybe Allah wants me to gift it to somebody. I don't know. I'll have to find out who's got no shoes. Some good shoes. For me. And so you want my boots? I don't want your boots. Why do you want to give me your boots? In summer you should never wear boots. The feet sweat like crazy. Now it's winter and I'm wearing my boots again, which is nice because in winter you have to wear boots. When your feet freeze up. The dream was telling me to wear boots. So interesting. Shit. That's the wrong one. Go crazy. Go crazy. Here girl, baby girl, and then girl, insane girl, baby girl, insane girl. Let me try everything, set your bones. Let me try everything, set your bones. No, it's an Eminem song. Yeah. Such a disgrace. I would have liked to say so. I'm really gonna. It's just sound of the smoke for some reason. I don't know what it is. I even feel it. What's wrong with smoking? It's gross. It's like having tea, like not having tea for people. Like it's a drug. So one have tea. What's wrong with that? It's dishonorable to have tea in front of people. I don't know. Insane girl, insane girl. We tried everything except little boy. We tried everything except little boy. Insane girl, go crazy. Go crazy. Go with him, Haley. Go with him, Haley. Insane girl, go with him. Then we go about got monetized. Let's play some live shit on radio. Let's go.
If I did do that, Brian would have bitten my head off.
Well, it wasn't easy.
No, that's right. Stella to come back, I could have told you no. That fridge is well and true. Well, I figured it was worth a try. You know where Brian is now? He said he wanted to check on the deer. He's worried one of the stags is bustling in and another one to read. Might need isolating. Brian. Well, if it means I get a quiet hour in the office, I shall. How's the maize harvesting looking? Yeah, all good so far. Engineers will serving the heather, that's good. Where's the engine? He said he'd be here now. Probably go wait for him in the yard. Right, well, did you see the website I sent out last night? Oh, having the family holiday and that's what thing. Yeah. Auntie Lillian's been wasting any time getting back to me. She's been in touch. Yeah. No, I thought. Well, breaking all that. Ask if Justin started on coming. That's well.
Next
This place is so big. More important than Brian and several things. That's true. So now we're just on Debbie and all the bridge farm group. Really? I think so. We're only on castles on the exact cut. Hello? Anyone about? It's Ben now. I'm gonna go.
Thanks for driving over. Oh, but what about your hair? Oh, don't worry about that. It's only highlights. Perhaps you can do it later. Oh, but you wanted... Oh, honestly, Emma, the important thing is to embark on me. Amber, mine's a full home. So, what is the woman at this entry called? Meg Meller. She's really lovely. After her husband passed, she decided to start taking care of old retired horses. Thank goodness she did, because what happened? Yeah, George said how hard it was. Not knowing if you managed to half start with you. What? I thought you were going to go to prison even then. Well, of course. It broke his heart having set to go. Especially since what great granddad asked him last year. Has George told you a lot about Bartleby? Loads. And I've watched all the videos of him talking. You know, with Eddie doing the voice. Which way now? Oh, sorry, right. Your voice is not important. Guilty? Got to say, it's not the same that house about Bartleby. It was Joe and Bartleby all dressed up in their finery. Me, George and Kieran to the church. I got married to him. George told me Joe used to ride him around the village. He did, with his trap. And at Christmas he put flashing antlers on his head so he looked like Santa's reindeer. What? Really? All the kids would come running out to see him. He was quite a celebrity. Oh, I can't wait to meet him. The road's clear on my side. And, oh, let's just hope he doesn't have an illness down.
What about the ends of the bones? Can you feel those?
Yes, just about.
They're not sharp, though.
No.
She's at least a 3, more likely 3.5. Can I check?
Yeah, you're the expert. So anything below 3 needs extra feed.
Yep. It's used in ideal condition, though. Just the right amount of fat cover for tupping. You can open the drafty gate.
What is that better?
Yeah, let her out.
Yes, I'm not.
So how does this compare with your first day as an agency nurse?
I wasn't conditioned scoring a patient, if that's what you mean. Is it as scary as you thought, though? To be honest, I'd heard so many horror stories about being thrown into the deep end. Senior nurse showed me where everything was, to hand over notes with me. Wasn't that what they always do? Not always. No, sometimes they're so run off their steam.
but I mean,
I mean, I'm not saying it was easy. So worried about making a mistake. There was one patient who described sepsis. What's that? Antibiotic. It can cause a reaction in people who are allergic to penicillin. And I'm guessing this patient was. Yeah. I mean, he was fine. The note said it wasn't a severe allergy and the guy wasn't anaphylaxis. Anyway, I checked with the doctor and prescribed it.
oh, doctor shit.
Yeah, sure, of course. I want to keep asking questions. Everyone's busy dealing with their own issues. You want to look like you know what you're doing. Well, it sounds like you got through it. You didn't kill anyone. Yeah, that's true. No, he was fine. But I was a bit anxious. Anyway, I survived. Although by the time I was finished, I was absolutely shattered. Back on the same ward tomorrow. Well done, mate. I was so in awe of me. Yeah, of course. You always know what you want to do. Not like me. All I've ever done is run away. What do you mean? You know how messed up I was when I first went to uni? Then everything that happened with Julia. Now I look back at it, it's just me trying to prove something. Prove what? That family and relationships don't matter. Everything's a transaction. Wow. And if I'm totally honest now, well, I didn't believe it then. I just wanted to, you know? Okay, but that was ages ago. No, I know. But I still feel like I've been trapped in that way. Hardly a surprise when I didn't get offered a job. I didn't exactly put my all into my placement. It's tough though. Admitting that we're in the wrong place. So you're in the right place now? Yeah, I reckon so. Whether there's room for me on the farm though, obviously that depends on Dad. At the moment, it's hard to know what he's thinking.
Is it alright to stroke him?
Yes, it's not.
Hello, Dr. B. I'm Amber. Oh, he's so sweet.
He is, although he can be very stubborn. He's looking better than I expected from the call. Okay, that's a good start. However, a couple of weeks ago, we were just back. Hold on there. But you want a painkiller and anti-inflammatory. Does it help? I'd say. He's still a bit wobbly. He has started losing weight. Right. So, assuming it is arthritis, that's expected test. Basically, it feels like we're approaching the end. That's I thought we should have a chance to visit. Call it a day.
What a day.
It wouldn't be fair to let it go. Well, I imagine it would be soon rather than later.
No. Well, no, you can't. Not until George has seen him.
Fine, if he can come over in the next day or two. That won't be possible. He's away at the moment.
He'll be back in a couple of weeks.
Where is he?
Well,
It's just he should really.
See how I can get my fingers under? Yeah, she definitely is too. Need food. Let's separate her with the others. Yeah, right, you are.
There are more and more bunches.
Ready for break? No, I'm fine. I'm just going.
Usually, the doctor and nurses will take me. It's on that's for the first episode. And the way that person looks, it's just like the doctor. You have that evil look.
Family holiday. Can I go ahead? No, sure. You know how to work the podcast. I'll have a Gina. You know. Come there. So, what did Pat say? They didn't like him. No. They loved him. Seriously? Well, Pat did say Tony asked if it needs to wear +4s in his ears. He can if he wants to. Well, no. She said Tom and Natasha think it looks great. Helen will be happy too. Turning over the movies, it looks like
I have an amazing gift.
oh, amazing.
Things are going to be easy. You just know.
Check.
By looking at them.
No, why? Never's reply achievement. No, you're kidding. It's impossible. The Aldridge, Archer, and Bellamy clan are off to sunny Scotland.
I don't believe it. Well, maybe our family isn't as dysfunctional as I thought.
Trying to get hold of George, I am. I still wasn't sure if you'd heard. All over the local news. I had no idea.
George isn't inside for anything you understand.
Perverting the course of justice is pretty serious number.
No, I know, but it's not like he robbed the house or deliberately hurt someone. He just lied to the police.
There's no one saying that what he did were stupid. He knows he made a dreadful mistake. At least it explains why he hasn't been to visit them. I was surprised when he suddenly stopped pulling over. I assumed he just lost it.
Why are you going
No,
patient?
no, not at all. Well, George loves Bartleby. He's looking forward to seeing him again. It's one of the things that helped him get through his sentence. If he comes home and finds out he wasn't here to say goodbye.
It's only 2 weeks.
Exactly. Oh, you can make it, can't you, Bartleby? You're not ready to turn up your hooves yet.
Very difficult. Please, Meg. It would mean everything to George.
2 weeks isn't that long.
Look, I'll do everything I can to keep him going.
You will?
But thank you, Meg. I can't make any promises, though. If Bartleby isn't able to get up anymore, or if we think he's in too much pain, then I'm very sorry. I'll have no choice to let him go.
All right, to the Archers. Brian makes a final plea, and George will struggle to accept reality. Next, this evening, front row.
Let me tell you how God created Orland.
On a quiet Baltic island,
Body was found at the Russian crossroads. The battle.
murder is just the beginning
This points to cyanide. She was poisoned.
of a dangerous game
For a second there, I was afraid that you were going to kill me here.
with spies,
See the walk through her window.
secrets,
Caroline!
and knowing. Clear rules.
Didn't we have unfinished business?
Baltic noir thriller Murder in Orland begins next Wednesday afternoon at 2:15 on Radio 4 and BBC Sounds.
And now on Radio 4, it's time for Front Row with Tom Sutcliffe. Hello. Complicated family histories on the review show this week, and I mean really complicated. The high-intensity conflict in Leonardo DiCaprio's new film, One Battle After Another, include a paternity dispute between two sworn enemies. In just a moment, I talk to the star and his director, Paul Thomas Anderson, about a film that presses hard on the USA's most tender places. And finding out who your real parents are is also central to David Land's new play, The Land of the Living, in which Juliet Stevenson plays a young volunteer struggling to find homes for displaced children in post-war Germany. Also on the programme tonight, Patricia Lockwood's, novel, memoir, prose poem, called Will There Ever Be Another You? Anyway, and helping categorise it, maybe. I'll the Observer dance critic Sarah Crompton and Tim Roby, film reviewer. We start tonight, though, with One Battle After Another, the latest film from Paul Thomas Anderson, director of Boogie Nights, There Will Be Blood, and The Phantom Thread, among many others. Like his film Inherent Vice, this is based on a Thomas Pynchon novel, though Anderson has sharpened the edges of Pynchon's story. The underground rebels here are not hippie dopers under pressure from Reagan's war on drugs, but militant radicals, first encountered as they mount an armed raid, free immigrants being held in a detention centre. Almost 3 decades after turning down the lead role of Dirk Diggler in Boogie Nights, Leonardo DiCaprio stars for him as Bob, infatuated with the group's female leader, Ophelia Beverly Hills, but ultimately separated from her and forced into hiding with their baby daughter. Many years later, when he urgently needs to reconnect with his revolutionary
comrades, it's clear the years have taken a toll.
I was part of French 75 for years. They used to call me Ghetto Pad, Rocket Man, stuff like that. Only problem is I've fried my brain since then, man. I have abused drugs and alcohol for the past 30 years, man. And I cannot remember for the life of me, for the life of my only child, the answer to your question, what time is it?
The film is loosely based or inspired by the Thomas Pynchon's Vampire, which was published 35 years ago. I know you've been waiting for a long time to make it. Why has it taken so long?
I don't know. Maybe I was really enjoying the process of writing it, and maybe between enjoying it and being frustrated and trying to find the best way to tell the story, I've been kind of philosophical lately that it took as long as it took to get the right cast together.
You write with a cast in mind, of course.
Yeah, it's hard not to, and then at a certain point it becomes very helpful. You know, I couldn't stop thinking about this one for that one.
When you say this one for that one, you're pointing to Leonardo, yeah.
Yeah. And I think we had a desire to work together that had been, 25 years in the making since we first talked about it, that we knew that inevitably we wanted to do it.
What was that first conversation about? Because I know you turned down Dirk Diggler, or you couldn't do Dirk Diggler because of kind of commitment to Titanic. I imagine your agent wasn't unhappy about that, but were you at the time?
I talk about it just because it was one of the most definitive films of my generation. Actually, all after I saw the movie, I actually took the entire album from that movie and played those songs repeatedly over and over. Roller Girl theme, all those songs, just driving around in my car. It was just a kind of lightning rod moment in cinema. I love the porn culture, the way it brought humanity to all that. Since then, I've just been a massive fan of his work. He immerses you in these highly imaginative worlds and brings these flawed characters to life. That thing. So, yeah, 25 years ago.
So, but 25 years ago, you were talking about this film, or just talking about
No,
other
well,
films?
we were talking about Boogie Nights, but I want us to add something to the story that never gets mentioned. That Leo was kind enough to say, I can't do this film, I'm going to do Titanic, but you should really meet Mark Wahlberg, who at the time he'd made Basketball Diaries with and Fear, and no one took seriously as an actor because he'd an underwear model and no one was paying attention to him. And he said so generously, really have to do this. So that's a very important part of that story. I don't know if you remember that or not, but that's a key one.
Has he said thank you yet? Has he said thank you yet?
Yeah.
You used, Paul, a really interesting metaphor in an interview you gave about this film, when you were talking about you had to work on the foundation, you had to work on the plot, the characters, and then you said you got enough to get Gaston to go to the table and start playing. Is it important to stay up with during the shooting process?
Yes, where it's appropriate, and no, there's quite a lot of action, there's a lot of stunts. You don't want any risk when it comes to that kind of stuff. That needs to be as safe as you possibly get. But when it comes to the scenes between two actors, you are always looking for some things to throw in there that mix it up. There has to be something to go to work with. I think everybody's always hungry for that, to be surprised by something.
Where the shooting script isn't enough, you want something on top of it.
Yeah, exactly.
That means you're kind of going to the set with different expectations.
My expectations were very high, to be honest. I mean, this is the Odyssey. It's his epic film, and I just felt there were so many layers and twists and turns to this storyline. You could tell Paul put 15, 20 years of thought into the script, and when we got there, you hit it all that thought. We're surrounded by it. Location scouts, wardrobe, entire team together. Our ability to immerse ourselves in these different locations. A lot of these characters
Pat and Eyelash.
Good morning.
There are no hands on the clock.
Why?
Because they're not needed.
What time is it?
I don't remember that part. All right, let's just not nitpick over the passwords.
It is very, very fun all the way through. The moment when you have to contact this underground contact in this radical group, and you forget the code that gets you this life event. How much of that did you improvise? You're on the phone saying, get your supervisor. This weird collision of the call center agonies and radical politics.
Yeah, I mean, that's the humanity of the character that he wrote. There's a setup for a traditional espionage thriller that we've seen 1,000 times before, but that stroke of genius, that one singular idea that I think Paul had, is like, what if I made him kind of like maybe me in this situation where I have a daughter and I can't remember the password? That concept just takes my character on a completely different path. And I think that every time we ran into those traditional tropes of the character, okay, well, you've got to do something heroic here. We always gave pause and said, well, what if we just push this right towards the end? And he doesn't make all the right decisions. He continues to fail. And the real power is that he's moving forward, the one that he loves. That's his heroine.
This feels very tuned to the times. It's not mentioned stories about having soft counterculture. It's an armed anti-car revolution, and they're breaking people out of immigration camps. You've got this sense of kind of white supremacist secret organisation. Particularly it's their coincidence pressing really hard on MAGA pressure.
I think the sad part is that if this story is 20 years in the making, then, like the line in the movie, 16 years later, the world's changed very little. As much as you want to say that, well, this is so relevant today, it's like, well, funny enough, it was relevant 20 years ago. The idea to set the film in a contemporary setting, not like the Pynchon book, is a book written in the 80s about a 20-year gap between the late 60s and mid-80s. I set out to make a contemporary film just because quite honestly, I was tired of making period films, and I thought that at this scale, it would be much easier to just walk into the streets. You can walk into a supermarket, to your point about keeping things lively, choose a scene without premise, just go and get it. All of this stuff is really much more of a practical choice than an artistic one.
It lands in a huge volatile time there.
Yeah.
Time of real polarization. What do you think a film like this can do in a culture like that?
It holds a mirror up to where we are in the world. And Paul said it best. There's no specific political ideology that he's imposing on you as an audience member. He's not pushing an agenda. It's there in the subtext. It surrounds us in the world that we live in. But ultimately, it's a story about, for me, humanity and what people do for their neighbors, their friends, their loved ones, in a world that is highly chaotic. And that's what he kind of taps into with these characters. I mean, there's a lot of justice in them. And the comedy aspect of it also helps. The extremism on both sides.
I don't want to give anything away, but you found a new bait from a car chase.
Yeah.
Which I think hasn't been done before.
I don't think so.
Had you known of that location?
No.
I've got to do something.
No, I had no idea. I mean, that kind of the location God blessing you and reaching down and giving you a gift. And we found this kind of stretch of highway with these extreme rolling hills that went on for miles. And in driving them, we all became kind of hit with an idea like, there's something magical here. And there's something terrifying. Because as you drive 80 miles an hour up over a blind hill, you realize you do not know what's on the other side of it. And as you look behind you, you have no idea what's behind you either. So, yeah, it was a gift.
Paul Thomas Anderson there and Leonardo DiCaprio. One battle after another already has some influential champions. Hosting a post-screening interview with the director, Steven Spielberg revealed that he'd already watched the film 3 times, and he noted that it contained more action in its first hour than all Anderson's other movies added together. What do you know about film? Joining me now to review the film are Sarah Crompton and Tim Roby. Tim Roby, Paul Thomas Anderson always gets something new with a new film, but this really is the departure from that.
I mean, really working on the whole it, and I'm thrilled to see it, and actually kind of relieved to see him really kind bit worried it might be sort of inherent vice a bit too Pynchon-esque for its own good, but instead, he's almost converted it into Elmore Leonard. It has this feeling of a romp and a riot as it goes along.
I came out thinking Tarantino is going to be really annoyed when it's on because it's a film he would have wanted to make.
Exactly, very Tarantino. Probably Anderson's most Tarantino's film, at least in Boogie Nights, and that's going back a long way. It's just thrilling to see. There's so much ambition to it, and the more that I sit with the film, the more I kind of appreciate it, and I appreciate the kind of the boldness and cojones of it. You know, it is essentially a black comic thriller about a thing at a time in America where that is.
It's extraordinary. I mean, it's 2 hours and 40 minutes of screen time. It's essentially a chase that lasts for that long, Sarah. What did you think?
Yeah, it's utterly exhilarating, and it is that very rare thing of being very fun, very scary, and very serious all at the same time. And so you actually sit for those nearly 3 hours absolutely on the edge of your seat, never quite sure what's going to happen next. And I thought the filmmaking was just so visceral and exciting. And the opening sequence, which is essentially, just like the pre-credit sequence, which goes on an incredible time, it's the first act. You're just it's so gripping as they break into Michael's camp, and everything's beautifully set in place at that moment.
It isn't tasteful, is it? Diana Taylor at one point was seen firing off an assault rifle. She is kind of 9 months pregnant. Belly showing. He's not going for. This is not the decorous Paul Thomas Anderson of Fantasy XIV.
And I'm sure we'll come on to Sean Penn, but in his very first scene, there is a prominent erection rising up through his crotch.
I have to. I have some questions about the physiology of that moment, even though it's kind of knitted together violence, thanks in a kind of intriguing way.
There was so much Jim Nash, and in fact, Diana Taylor. That is the kind of driving force of that.
The Penny of Beverly Hills.
So brilliant. Worried stuff against her, and the film has strategies to make that happen. But there's just a little bit.
I thought he was being a tiny bit genuine interview there. It was sort of saying that this film was, it wasn't trying to impose agenda. I mean, it has been caught up by events this week. Somebody shot at an ICE detention centre. It has this kind of secret club in it where they say at one point, if you want to save the planet, you start with immigration. It takes you straight to Trump's speech in the UN this week. It really is landing on a kind of political system.
Maybe it's the fact that the characters on that side, on the anti-MAGA side, are not in any way ideologically learned. They're also absolute agents of chaos. They are chaotic as hell.
Yeah, and I think that's its deep cleverness, possibly because it has been 20 years in the making. Both deeply personal and absolutely important and urgent, but also has got a slightly timeless quality about a lot of things, about the nature of violence, about good versus evil, about men making good and bad decisions. There's a lot of that going on.
It's a study of relationships too, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, Ophelia and even J. Lockjaw, Ophelia Bob and his daughter, very importantly. Does that make it through all of the action?
I think it does, and I think that's what absolutely